What if the greatest revenge is becoming untouchable, not louder, not colder, not cruel, just untouchable? Most people react when they feel disrespected. They argue, they explain, they chase validation. But the Stoics understood something deeper. The moment you stop reacting, you start regaining power. Before we go further, subscribe and like this video. If you're ready to build unshakable composure, emotional discipline, and quiet authority, you're in the right place. These aren't tricks. These are tools you can use today. And tell me in the comments, have you ever felt taken for granted? What did you do to confront them or withdraw your energy? I want to hear your experience before we continue. They took you for granted. They treated your time like an option, your kindness like a convenience, your presence like a placeholder. This is not a manual for revenge. It's a strategy for dignity. Stoic tools you can use to reclaim your life, preserve your peace, and let your steadiness speak louder than any argument. When people who undervalued you finally notice, it will be because you stopped giving them the power to define your worth. First, the premise that makes all of this possible. You control your reactions, not other people's choices. As Epictetus taught, it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Your sovereignty begins there. You will not win by matching their pettiness. You win by refusing to be the fuel for it. If this idea already feels like relief, subscribe for more practical Stoic tools. I'll keep these short and usable. 10. Strategic silence. Stoic rationale. Silence is not weakness, it is composure. Marcus Aurelius counseled restraint of speech as a way to preserve the mind's calm. What to do? Stop responding immediately to provocations. When someone tries to pull you into drama, answer with measured quiet, either no reply or a brief neutral response. Do not fill the silence with justification, sarcastic comments, or lengthy defenses. What not to do? Do not storm off to social media to post a public takedown. Do not gossip or beg for explanations. Micro scenario. At work, a colleague dismisses your contribution in a meeting. Instead of snapping back, you let the silence remain and later send a concise follow-up email that documents your input and next steps. Psychological effect on the other. Silence converts their expectation of your reactivity into uncertainty. Without an emotional reaction to control, they often begin to question their own behavior. They lose the simple leverage of immediate outrage. 9. Stop over-explaining. Stoic rationale. Clarity of purpose replaces the need for constant justification. Stoicism values action aligned with principle over tedious defense of choices. What to do? When asked why you did something, especially by someone who has already chosen to ignore you, offer a short, factual answer or a polite refusal. Conserve your energy for things that matter. What not to do? Don't launch into a history lesson about your intentions or list every excuse that could possibly defend you. Micro scenario. A former friend asks why you didn't attend a small gathering. You say, "I had different priorities that day," and leave it at that. Psychological effect on the other. Over-explanation invites them to find fault. A concise answer removes the ammunition and forces them to reckon with the reality that you do not require their approval to make choices. 8. Live with purpose. Stoic rationale. The Stoics placed value in purposeful action, virtue, and meaningful effort over the fickle approval of others. What to do? Redirect the time, energy, and attention you used to spend proving yourself toward growth, a course, a craft, a healthy routine, a creative project. Let your life be clearly oriented toward goals that matter to you. What not to do. Don't build a life of passive waiting, hoping they'll notice. Don't measure success only by who applauds you. Micro scenario. Instead of refreshing social feeds to see who's reacting to your posts, you commit 3 hours every week to learning a skill you care about. Psychological effect on the other. When your life fills with purpose, the gap between who you are and who they thought you were becomes obvious. Flourishing often provokes discomfort in those who preferred you smaller. 7. Impose guilt-free limits. Stoic rationale. Boundaries are a form of self-governance. Saying no is an act of stewardship over your time and moral energy. What to do? Set clear, enforceable limits. Say no to favors that deplete you without reciprocity. End patterns that allow repeated disrespect. What not to do? Don't cloak your boundaries in guilt or apology. Don't weaponize no to punish. Micro scenario. A family member expects late-night emotional labor from you as a rule. You tell them you are unavailable after 9 p.m. and you stick to it. Psychological effect on the other. Clear limits teach others how to treat you. Those who relied on your availability may feel suddenly confronted with consequences for their assumptions, which often leads to regret or recalibration. 6. Be kind, but keep distance. Stoic rationale. Virtue is consistent with kindness. Wisdom is consistent with wise distance. You can be polite without granting access. What to do? Maintain civility and warmth on the surface. No hostility, while reducing opportunities for intimacy and manipulation. Keep interactions short, focused, and unambitious. What not to do? Do not confuse distance with cruelty. Do not flirt with passive-aggressive behavior. Micro scenario. You encounter an acquaintance who repeatedly borrows money without repayment. You remain civil in public but decline loan requests and avoid being the fallback plan. Psychological effect on the other. When kindness is paired with distance, others feel the absence of their previous grip on you. They may experience the sting of having benefited from access they no longer possess. 5. Remain imperturbable to criticism. Stoic rationale. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that what harms us is our judgment, not external facts. Disdain or criticism only has power if you grant it. What to do? Accept feedback that is useful, discard the rest. When criticized unfairly, observe rather than react. Note the content, respond if needed with facts, or decline to engage. What not to do? Don't retaliate or match the tone of the attacker. Don't internalize insults as facts. Micro scenario. After a terse email accusing you of incompetence, you reply with calm documentation of the timeline and next steps, neither pleading nor gloating. Psychological effect on the other. Your lack of agitation robs criticism of its goal, to destabilize you. That makes them uncomfortable. They expected a spectacle, not equanimity. 4. Maintain dignity in solitude. Stoic rationale. True character reveals itself when no audience is watching. Stoic practice emphasizes inner dignity over external applause. What to do? Cultivate habits that honor you when alone. Clean routines, reflective reading, healthy meals, deliberate rest, physical fitness. Treat your private life as important as your public one. What not to do? Don't perform virtue for approval. Don't use solitude as an excuse to spiral. Micro scenario. You choose to spend a Sunday morning reading and exercising, not refreshing your phone to check likes or messages. psychological effect on the other. When your private life is orderly and meaningful, the illusion that they were central to your happiness unravels. That realization can spark regret in someone who assumed they were indispensable. 3. Leave without notice when necessary. Stoic rationale. Impermanence is a partner of wisdom. Stoicism teaches acceptance of change and the courage to withdraw from toxic situations. What to do? If a relationship or environment is draining your well-being and repeated attempts at boundary setting failed, leave decisively. Do it with dignity, brief explanation if responsible, otherwise a simple, principled goodbye and withdrawal from regular contact. What not to do? Don't abandon duties you owe or responsibilities you cannot legally or ethically walk away from. Don't dramatize departures to punish. Micro scenario. After multiple broken promises from a roommate who compromises your health, you arrange your affairs and move out without extended negotiations. Psychological effect on the other. Sudden absence removes the safety net they relied on. They may feel the weight of their neglect when your presence, once assumed, is no longer available. Mini summary. So far, we've shifted presence, boundaries, and daily habits. The next 3 will secure your inner fortress, what truly changes the story. 2. Value your achievements. Privately. Stoic rationale. Internal validation aligns with Stoic emphasis on virtue as its own reward. Recognition is welcome, but unnecessary. What to do? Keep a private ledger of wins, no matter how small. Practice journaling achievements daily. Celebrate in ways that nurture you, rather than seeking public approval. What not to do? Don't broadcast every win to elicit praise. Don't let applause be your scoreboard. Micro scenario. After finishing a difficult project, you write a concise note to yourself, detailing what you learned and the obstacles you overcame. Then move on to the next task. Psychological effect on the other. When you stop performing for their applause, people who valued you only for spectacle begin to notice that your life is not about their validation. That realization can breed surprise, curiosity, and often retrospective regret. 1. Cultivate emotional self-sufficiency. Stoic rationale. The foundation of all other attitudes. Stoicism teaches that inner stability, freedom from excessive dependence on externals, is the chief good. What to do? Develop internal resources, daily reflection, rational appraisal of desires, emotional regulation practices, and a community of reciprocal relationships rather than needy ones. Accept that others may not give what you need, and build systems to meet your needs responsibly. What not to do? Don't isolate under the guise of self-sufficiency. Don't expect total immunity from pain, but aim for resilience. Micro scenario. When a long-term friend phases out of your life, you sit with the grief briefly, journal through it, and then return to activities and relationships that sustain you. Psychological effect on the other. Nothing unsettles someone who relied on controlling you more than your calm independence. They may feel a painful clarity. Losing you did not break you. It revealed your strength. How these attitudes work together. Taken in sequence, these attitudes do not seek to wound. They withdraw fuel. Many people hold power over others through predictability. Predictable defense, predictable availability, predictable outrage. You disrupt that predictability with dignity. By refusing to be reactive, by honoring your time, by living purposefully, you create a life that highlights what they lost, not to spite them, but as a natural consequence of your restored dignity. A word on ethics and limits. Do not weaponize these tactics. They are not methods of manipulation or humiliation. They are tools of self-respect. If someone is in crisis or requires help you can reasonably offer, do not withhold basic care for the sake of proving a point. Likewise, leaving without notice applies only when non-abandonment duties are fulfilled and safety is preserved. Practical exercises to begin a 1-week plan. Day 1-7, Strategic Silence Challenge. For 7 days, answer non-urgent messages only once per day. If a message is not a request with a deadline or an emergency, leave it until your scheduled reply window. Note how your sense of peace changes. Day 1-3, Boundary Test. Say no to one request that drains you. Keep it short. I can't take that on right now. Do not explain at length. Day 4-5, Achievement Ledger. Each evening write 3 things you accomplished that day, however small. Day 6-7, Solitude Practice. For 20 minutes each day, do something restorative alone that isn't watched by others. Read, walk, practice a craft, and reflect on how it feels to value your private life. If any of these feel too hard, shrink them. Stoic practice favors small, repeatable acts over dramatic gestures. 2 brief, real-life examples. At work, you stop volunteering for every urgent task just because colleagues ask. You document your contributions and set availability. Over weeks, your reliability becomes more respected, and managers begin to rely on your focused output rather than furious availability. In a relationship, you stop apologizing for your boundaries and stop trying to negotiate affection with texts and presents. You invest energy in your values and hobbies. The partner who took you for granted faces a new reality. Affection must be mutual to be sustainable. Common objections and clear answers, but won't they just replace me? They might. Stoic peace accepts that people will choose what serves them. Your concern is not to control their choice, but to steward your life well. If they replace you, you've made room for reciprocal connections. What if they escalate? Prioritize safety. If someone responds with aggression, disengage and seek appropriate help. These attitudes never recommend staying in danger. What if this makes me look cold? Some will misinterpret your steadiness as coldness. That is preferable to being drained. True friends will value your consistency and integrity. Final synthesis. The deepest transformation here is not to make others suffer regret as an end in itself. It is to craft a life where your value comes from within, where others' failure to appreciate you does not erode your peace, and where you are no longer a source of drama for those who wish to control you. Through silence, limits, purposeful living, and emotional self-sufficiency, you will often, frequently, commonly, notice that those who once devalued you begin to reassess, feel the weight of absence, and at times regret the way they treated you. That regret is not your victory. Your victory is the return of your own dignity. If you want a practical guide to follow these steps for a week, daily prompts, scripts for setting boundaries, and a journaling template, subscribe now and check the next video linked in the description. Start today with one small act. Choose one message and do not answer immediately. Notice how that choice changes your day. Remember, this is not revenge, it is sovereignty. It is the quiet, steady art of reclaiming your life,